Okay, hello. Happy Friday, guys. Welcome back. This is our February week 4. Okay, the last week of our February. Hi Yunan. I think you were not here last week, right? Were you? Was it you? Oh yeah, okay. Remember the request video, huh? Do you know how to request video? I'll send you the video later. So I'll hang on, I'll send you the link. Because if you are absent, right, please remember to ask for the replacement video, okay, because make sure you catch up on it. Okay, there you go. Right, make sure you fill up everything and I'll send you the video later. Okay, so we have done our adaptation, our ecology. Okay, not a very long chapter. Okay, we have done all this. Right. So today, let's talk about pollution. Okay, let's talk about pollution. Oh, this is a very interesting topic today. Okay, you guys ready? You guys ready? Hi, Yuri and Yuning. So this is human activity and the industrial revolution. Okay, so let's begin with how did pollution start? Right, guys. First of all, I'll talk about some history first. Okay, a little bit of history time. So in more than 200,000 years ago, humans lived as hunter-gatherers. Okay, so you have to think about 200,000 years back, when we were in Paleolithic era. Okay, paleo means old. That means the old Stone Age. Okay, for people who don't study history, Paleolithic is known as the Stone Age. Right, so 200,000 years ago, it was the Stone Age. Guys, so if you compare, modern human history is around 10,000 years. It's around 10,000 years. So we spend quite a lot of time in Paleolithic. All right, so like 100 something thousand years. Okay, that's a long amount of time. Right, so in more than 200,000 years ago, humans, we live as hunter-gatherers. That means we hunt, we live in caves and all. Right, but about 10,000 years ago, that means 190,000 years later, humans learned how to domesticate a few less aggressive animals and farming began. Human also cleared land to grow crops. Right, so around 10,000 years ago, what are the animals? Yeah, you can say dogs, chicken too. Okay, because chicken, they come from a species of wild chicken, and we just domesticated them. Right, so you see, 10,000 years, yeah, cow, okay, yeah, cow lah. Less aggressive. Okay, guys, they were all aggressive, but they are less aggressive. Why do you think we domesticated horses, but we did not domesticate zebras? All right, because they look the same, right? They look the same, right? But zebras, they are freaking aggressive. That's why we still cannot ride them today. Zebras, they don't play around. They will harm you. Old dogs are like wolves, yes, correct. Okay, so guys, so this was what happened 10,000 years ago. Those humans were like, you know what? Every day we go out and hunt. That is very stupid, right? Because yes, they do. Yes, they do. Right. So you see, if I go out and hunt, it is very uncertain. Hey guys, you have to know, hunting is a very difficult process. On a lucky day, you might get to hunt something. Okay, and that comes like one in every few days or every few weeks. Right? For the rest of the time, for the rest of the period, you just eat plants and fruits. Okay, we domesticating roaches, man, do we? Right? So anyway, so these few people, they started like catching those not so aggressive animal, and we started domesticated them. Why do you want to domesticate roaches for? Right? So they started domesticated them, and we have farming. Right? We have farming. So praise the brilliant minds that we, you know, we don't have to hunt anymore, right? Like you don't say nowadays. You don't say, oh, you know what? I want some chicken. Let me bring out my bow and arrow, and I'll go shoot something. Okay, so you don't do that. Pets are okay. Uh, very popular. Really? I think I'm very liberal with the word very popular because I've not heard of it. Okay lah, maybe I'm living under a rock lah. Anyway, so this is what they do lah. So we also learn to grow crops. Okay, we started to plant rice. Okay, we started to, basically we started farming. Oh, is it? Okay, cool. Okay, so see, this is humans when we learn, when we step forward in terms of development. All right, and hey guys, not to mention we discovered fire. Right? Hey guys, you think about this You think about this Last time when we hunted animals, we have to eat them within a day. We cannot store it because meat will go bad in maybe 1 or 2 days, right? But with fire, if you smoke your meat dry, you can keep, like, what's beef, it's jerky. You can make jerky and you can keep it long, and you won't be hungry. Yeah, the meat will bloody. Guys, your appendix, right? Your appendix, right? It was used to digest raw meat, right? You don't eat raw meat anymore, do you? Not me anyway, right? Neither should you. So you just kind of lost the ability of your appendix. So now your appendix has no function. You evolved from it. It's just there for decoration. And if some food falls into it, then you get this pain. You have to go cut it off lah. Okay, that's a very stupid design. Anyway, so when farming provided enough, okay, as we start to farm, we have more food, right? When you start to have more food, human population started to increase, right? More food means more people, right? Because I can feed more people, I can have more children, I can increase my number of humans. So humans domesticated stronger animals to replace human power, like horses, like cows, like buffaloes, right? Why them? Because they are easy to domesticate. Okay, to domesticate. We can't domesticate say tiger, okay, because they are just very. Hey guys, fun fact dogs are fully domesticated. That's why they listen to us. Cats are not, right? You can't train a cat to listen to you. Do you guys have a cat? Do you guys have a cat? I have a cat, right? Cats, they do whatever the hell they want, right? If they are jumping onto your chair or whatever, they jump onto it. They don't listen to commands, right? You ask your dog to sit, to give you a hand, they will listen. But cats, they are like peasant, right? So because cats, they are half domesticated, so they are like, they can live with human, but they cannot fully obey us. So that's why, right? So guys, you don't own a cat. You don't own a cat. A cat owns you, right? Because you are the pet. You are the pet. You clean their shit and pee. You feed them. So you sound human sounds more like the the pet to them. Right? Anyway, so our cattle, horses are used for farming, producing goods and transport. So we use these things to replace human, because human, if you want to walk yourself, you cannot walk very far, but horses, they can. Right? You see, this is why humans were very smart. So during human civilization about 2,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago, or I would say 5,000 lah, 5,000, that was when our civilization began. Okay, the oldest civilization was the Mesopotamian. Okay, Mesopotamia civilization. Do they? Are you sure? Okay, so the four civilization, you have the Indus Valley. Okay, the Indus Valley civilization. You have the ancient China, or the Huanghe civilization, the Yellow River civilization. You have Mesopotamia civilization, and you have the ancient Egypt civilization. Okay, You sure no, Yuri? They don't have nerves. How do they scream? No lah, this is just a hypothesis lah, not proven lah. Okay, so guys, so the four human civilization it was 5,000 years ago. Okay, 5,000 years ago. So you see, we even invented machines. Humans started to invent machines. These machines were powered by wind or water. We use windmill, we use water mill. Okay, no, they don't. Anyway, so for example, windmills and water mills. So okay, fast forward to like 2000 200 years ago 200 years ago, we invented something called the steam engine. You know what is a steam engine, right? You know what is a steam engine, right? This is like one of the biggest invention of mankind. Okay. Yeah, what's my what's my background? Okay. Anyway, so steam engine was used. This is one of the major breakthrough in human history. So steam engine was used to power all machine because they produce huge amount of energy and can be used anywhere, anytime. Guys, steam engine is not like horses. Okay, horses they need to rest. Steam engine they don't. As long as you give them fuel, they will start working. Right. Sus, I know. Right. Anyway, so steam engine, we started to put them on trains. We start to put them on boats. You know what is a steam engine boat? Right. We started steam engine. And guys, steam engine is when we move into something called the Industrial Revolution. Have you guys learned this in history? Right? Because of the steam engine, we move into Industrial Revolution. Guys, we are currently still in Industrial Revolution, and they call it Industrial Revolution 4.0. Okay, what is Industrial Revolution? Industrial Revolution is when we start to mass produce things. You know what is mass production? That means everything is made by machines. Guys, think about it. Everything around you is mass produced. Your shirt is mass produced. Everything you use. Your phone is mass produced. You don't have any custom made item, do you? Unless you're very rich lah. Your car is mass produced. Your PC is mass produced. Everything around you is mass produced. Yeah. I'll talk about that, Yuri. That's a very good. That's a very good something you mentioned. Okay. Anyway, so Industrial Revolution started in England. When we start to use steam, because you see, steam, they don't need to rest. You can just use it 24/7. So this is how factories, they start to mass produce things. Last time, let's just say fabric, okay? Let's just say clothes. Clothes need to be made one by one by human hand. Now, when you have machines, it can be mass produced. And when you mass produce something, guys, you pull the cost down. Right? But there's a trade-off here. See, guys, there's a trade-off here. When you use machine, you need fossil fuel. When you burn fossil fuel, you create pollution. This is how pollution comes. This is how pollution they come about. Right, guys? Let's talk about cars. You know who's the first guy who invented car? Who's the first guy who invented our first motor power car? Did I ask you guys this last time? Was it you guys or was it year 8? I also forgot already. I think it's year 8. Okay, so you know who's the first guy who invented car? Okay, wow, how do you know? Okay, it's Carl Benz. Okay, it's a German guy called Carl Benz, right? And he found the brand, Mercedes-Benz. Guys, by the way, it's not pronounced as Mercedes. Please don't say that. It's a very uncultured way to say it. It's pronounced as Mercedes. Guys, this is a girl's name. This is a girl's name. So, Carl Benz, he named this company after his daughter. Right? His daughter was named Mercedes, so it's Mercedes-Benz. All right. So, guys, but back then, the first car that Carl Benz invented, Mercedes, they have 3 E's, but they are all pronounced differently. Okay, I know it sounds funny. Okay, Mercedes, right? Anyway, so the first car that Carl Benz invented, it was not for everyone. You couldn't, as a normal person, you couldn't buy it because it was very expensive. So who was the first guy who mass produced car? who use machine to make cars, and they can make like a few hundred per day, and they make car cheap, it was Henry Ford. All right. So Ford, yes, Benz was the first car, but Ford was the first mass-produced car. Right? It was Ford that made car cheap and accessible. Everyone like us, we could afford. Right? Because back then, during Ben's time, Ben's car, you need to be someone very rich or some kind of elite, only you can afford to buy cars. Right? Car was not accessible. Car was, something for the rich. Right? It's like a private jet. Okay. Last time there was no private jet. Your personal vehicle, your car, is like it's like your private jet. It's like a huge way to flex your wealth. Okay, you get what I mean, right? So when we started to use steam engine, okay, we started using coal. Like coal is a fossil fuel, guys. Coal is a fossil fuel. You know it's coal. Coal is 煤炭, as in the black color rock. Okay, the black color rock. For okay, coal. Not charcoal, guys. Not charcoal. Charcoal, you use it for barbecue. You can't use this for barbecue because your food will taste sour and it will be poisonous. Okay, so this is your coal. Right? Guys, even until today, yeah, exactly. Okay, even until today, guys, coal is used by many countries to generate electricity. China uses coal. Germany uses coal. Even we use coal. Coal is a very cheap way to generate electricity because even until today, we still use steam engine. Right, guys? 80% of our energy still come from fossil fuel. Okay, you see gas. Gas is like your mom's cooking gas. Oil, your petrol, and coal. You see, we are still around 80% depending on fossil fuel. So you see how bad we depend on them. That means if you take away fossil fuel, we have nothing to use. Okay, right. Anyway, so today we replace steam engine with electric motors. However, large amount of electricity is also needed to power these motors. Generation of electricity also uses fossil fuel. Okay, guys, this is how pollution came in. Okay, this is how pollution comes in. Because you see, when you burn fossil fuel, you are going to produce carbon dioxide. And carbon dioxide, guys, is the biggest problem we are facing right now. All right. So, if you ask me, sir, what is the purpose of learning science? Guys, currently, the biggest problem science is trying to solve is global warming. It's pollution, right? Because this is something that until today, we still have no idea how to solve, right? And what should the future be? Should we go for this or should we go for that? Nobody knows, right? So like I think I told you guys this, right? We cannot just say, oh, sir, we change all our car to Tesla lah, right? Guys, even if we change our car to Tesla, because okay, people say that, oh, car they use petrol, right? Petrol produce carbon dioxide, right? Okay, then we use Tesla lah. Problem solved, right? Problem solved, right? No, because you see, if you change to a Tesla, yes, you charge your car, you don't use a petrol. But when you charge your car, you use electricity, right? You use electricity, right? And where exactly is the electricity coming from? Fossil fuel. So you are still powering your car with fossil fuel, just that it is not very direct this time. You are letting the factory burn fossil fuel and you get the electricity instead of you burning the fossil fuel directly. So in the end, there's no difference, right? So, I mean, guys, pollution is a very complicated problem. So, I'll talk about it later. So what is a pollution, by the way? Pollution is an undesirable change that happens to the environment, mostly caused by human activities, right? So pollution started rapidly during the Industrial Revolution. Why? Because as we start using more steam engine, as we start using more coal, we produce more gases, we produce more exhaust. This is how pollution came. Because before Industrial Revolution, yeah, there were pollution, but it's very, very small, very, very little. Yeah, that's why. I mean, most people they buy Tesla, they are not for the environment lah. It's just that, it's for the features, it's for so-called the future lah. All right, they just want to feel the technology, right? So pollution is an undesirable change, okay, as I said. So pollution is caused by the release of pollutant. Pollutant causes pollution. Make sense? Pollutant is 污染物，污染物导致污染哦。Pollutants causes pollution. Okay, so substances that can pollute the environment. Most pollution today are caused by the demand for energy, right, guys? This is the main cause of pollution. Currently, we are trying our very best to get energy, right? But unfortunately, we need energy in transport, in generation of electricity, in industry to power motors and machines. And currently, 80% of our energy is obtained through fossil fuel. And when you burn fossil fuel, petroleum, natural gas, and coal, you are going to create carbon dioxide. So guys, to cut away carbon dioxide, we have to cut away fossil fuel fully. We have to cut it fully. So let me ask you, do you think you can replace 80% of something? You get what I'm trying to say? So I mean, it's not impossible, but it's very hard. Okay, so okay, so guys, if you ask me, sir, how can we replace this 80%? How can we replace this 80%? You see, there are other these other sources are what we call alternative sources. Okay, alternative sources. Okay, so these so far are our options. Okay, like number one, hydro. Guys, you might say, sir, hydro is a good source. No, it is not. You know why? You know why? You know why? Right, you see, hydro, to build a dam, to use hydro, you need to build a dam, right? To build a dam, you need construction. And how exactly do you do the construction? You need lorries. You need machines. And how do you power them exactly? Fossil fuel again. Right? And guys, not to mention, hydro is very bad for the environment in the sense that since you're building a dam, right, you will create a big flood at the upper end, the upper stream. So you will flood all the forest will die. So guys, hydro is not a very good thing to use. So what's next? You might say, sir, solar then. Solar then. Right. You see, solar is also not very, very good because you know why? Number one, solar panel is very expensive. Number one. And solar panel, they are very fragile and they are very hard to recycle. Okay. And solar, they are very inefficient. 8 hours under the sun, you get like 30 minutes of energy. Let's just say lah. So it is very inefficient. Not to mention, guys, if you're in a winter country, how do you use solar? Right? You see the headache now. So guys, what is the best energy? It's actually nuclear. Nuclear is the best, and there's no like moon panel because sun is how you get energy. What you cannot get free energy, guys. Nuclear. I'm sorry to say, nuclear is the best energy. Why? Because nuclear, they do not produce any greenhouse gas. There's no carbon dioxide. It's very easy to build a nuclear power plant. You can build them anywhere. It doesn't spoil any environment. And guys, it produces a lot of energy. A lot of energy. You think about this. Okay, you know how do nuclear power plant work? They will use something called uranium-235. Ooh, what is this? Right, uranium-235 is a nuclear fuel. Uranium-235 it's a nuclear fuel. You can use this for bombs. Okay, about the radiation, I'll talk about it later. Okay, so this is uranium-235. This is uranium-235. Right, 1 kg of uranium-235 and coal. You know how many kg? Guys, 1 kg of uranium-235 is equal to 2.7 million kg of coal. That means uranium is 2.7 million times more efficient. Guys, not 200, not 2,000, not 20,000, 2.7 million. You let that sink in. How much energy is that? Right? That uranium should never get old, isn't it? Okay, anyway, so, right, you might say, okay, so now the biggest problem is, okay, sir, what about radiation? What about radiation? Guys, I will let you know this. The latest nuclear technology, the latest nuclear power plant is actually very safe. Right? But okay, let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this question. You see, the US, the US, they have hundreds of nuclear warheads on standby. Right? The Russians, same thing. They have hundreds of nuclear warheads on standby, just in case they want to kill each other. So why is it okay for the US to hoard nuclear fuel for war, but when we want to use it for power generation, when we want to use it for electricity, suddenly everyone is not okay with it? You see the double standard? You see the double standard? Right? You suggest to the US government, oh, why not we use the nuclear for electricity? They're like, oh no, God forbid, no, it's very dangerous. But hey, let's use it to make atom bombs. What sense does it make? Your bomb is for one purpose only, that is for destruction. And now you are scared of nuclear power plant destroying you? What freaking sense does it make, you see? So the Ohio joke again. Right. Anyway, so guys, if we were all to do nuclear, this world will be so much better. We will cut pollution. Okay, you might, do you know there's another nuclear better? Okay, guys, a little bit extra info. There are two ways you can generate nuclear power. There's something called nuclear fission. That means you use uranium-235, you split it into two tiny particles, and you create a lot of energy. Or you can do something called nuclear fusion. This is even better. Nuclear fusion is even better. You take deuterium and tritium, which is two hydrogen, you combine it together, and this thing produces even more energy. Guys, our sun uses nuclear fusion for power. Our sun, the sun that you see every day, is a big nuclear fusion reactor. Right? So if you and guys, you know what's the good thing? You know what's the good thing? This thing produces no radiation. Zero radiation. So you might say, sir, then why don't we use this? Why don't we use this? Because currently, guys, we have no our technology is not good enough to make fusion. Right? Because guys, to do fusion, basically you are creating a human sun on Earth. Sun is the power source, that means solar lah. No, we want to do it right here. Okay, you see, fusion power, fusion reactor, we have the technology, but it's not cheap, right? So this is what they did. Hey, did you know that, guys? You see, this look like a donut. This is man-made sun. I think if I'm not mistaken, in Switzerland, okay, and in China, they managed to power this thing on for a few seconds. Right? It's something, but it's not good enough. Maybe 100 years time we will have this, but by then we won't be here lah. Okay? Go to no, it's not efficient. The best efficient way is to do a fusion power plant on Earth. Right? So this could be the future. This could be the solution to all these problems. All right, but I mean, it's not very mature yet lah. So as you guess, we still have to stick to fossil fuel. But how long else can we stick to this? Right? Because someday, this pollution is going to kill us. Right? Think about this, guys. Think about this. Currently, it's March, right? It's March, right? Chinese New Year is long gone, but it's still raining. You see, this global warming thing, it's freaking real, right? So it's like a race against time, lah. Are we able to find the solution to pollution first, or the pollution will kill us first? So yeah, up to guys, just for example, according to scientists, since global warming is so serious right now, right? Many scientists, they say by 2050 we must reach something called a net zero carbon emission. You know what does it mean? That means by 2050 we should produce a net amount of zero carbon dioxide. If not, we will be in big trouble. Do you think this is possible? Do you think this is possible? How much CO2 produced per year. Yeah, he played too much Last of Us. You see, 37 billion ton. Right? So guys, this is only going to get higher. It goes up every year. So how do you absorb away that 37 billion metric ton? Well, you be my guest. Right? Okay, so we let's just see where do we get our emission from? This one you will know. You see, we get we get 27 we get 27 of carbon dioxide from transportation, as you can see here, 25 from electricity, 24 from industry, 13 from us, commercial, residential, and 11 from agriculture. This is why they say, right? This is why they say one of the best way to reduce carbon dioxide is by going vegetarian. Is by being vegetarian. So if everyone on earth were to become a vegetarian, we will reduce that 11% of carbon dioxide. Right? So are you ready to do this? If one day the scientists they say to reduce carbon dioxide, you have to start eating insects. Right? Because we cannot have farming anymore because the earth is so hot that we have to start eating insects. Hey, it could happen, who knows? Right? Okay, the cordyceps thing is a very cool hypothesis, okay, but it's not very viable. Right? So anyway, so you see the you see the problem we are facing right now. So the combustion of fossil fuel is the major cause of pollution today. So what can we do to stop this pollution? Nobody knows, right? Some scientists say we should do nuclear. Some scientists say no, we shouldn't do nuclear. Some scientists say we should go for solar. Some scientists say, oh no, solar is not good. So you see, you have many divided opinion. Nobody has an answer, right? Like you see, Tesla, like electric vehicle, like EV, does it help? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Right? But it's only half the equation. You see, if every one of us change our car to Tesla, okay, and if all the electricity comes from nuclear, then we solve the problem. Right? But now, you changing to a Tesla, everyone changing their car to a Tesla, you're just solving half the problem. Yes, you're helping, but you're solving half the problem. What about the other half? Where do you get your electricity from? Right? So from the electricity point of view, you still have to solve the problem. So if you ask me, I also don't know, right? Because nobody knows. Nobody knows. This is the biggest question. This is why they call it an energy crisis. Energy crisis. So how do we solve this energy crisis? Nobody knows, right? Until today, nobody knows. Okay, I mean we have some idea, but what's the big picture? What are we moving towards? Nobody knows. Start eating rocks. All right. Anyway, so we have a few pollutions here. These are the problems we are facing right now. Okay, number one, land pollution. Okay, so as you know, guys, I'll tell you something. Do you know plastic are non-recyclable? Is this how spell recyclable? Okay, plastics are non-recyclable. All right. So you might say, sir, then what about they ask us to sort our waste? They say plastic is recyclable. No, they are not. Plastic is non-recyclable. It's a lie that all the big corporations they tell you. Why? Why? Because you see, plastic is recyclable, but the cost is very high. Right? I mean, when it comes to business, the main thing is earning money. You wouldn't want to do a business if it's not earning. Right? So if let's say your food packaging, you have to use recyclable plastic and the cost is like 2-3 times higher, it makes no sense. Right? Yes, it can't be burned as well. That's why the biggest problem we are facing is right now. Because you see, we only started using plastic like 100 years ago, and it is now everywhere. You go to landfills, most of the rubbish you see is plastic because they are very hard to recycle. Okay, so to support the growing human population, more crops need to be grown. I need to grow more rice, I need to grow more plants, I need to grow more of everything. More animals need to be farmed. That's why I said animals will give out carbon dioxide too. Natural habitats of many species is destroyed. I need to keep cutting forests to clear more land to grow crops and to keep livestock. I need to have animals, I need to have plants, so I need to have land, right? So as you chop more trees, you're going to reduce more trees, then there will be more carbon dioxide then. Okay, so pesticide and fertilizer used in plantation also pollutes the soil and can be harmful to many other plants and animals, right? Because you have to kill pests, so you have to use pesticide. Pesticide can build up in the body of pests. When a large number of pests is eaten by a predator, the pesticide passes up a food chain and builds up in its body. Accumulation of pesticide in predators can cause death of its young. All right. I mean, yeah, but we have no choice. Right, guys, think about this. Think about this. If you use pesticide and now the pesticide is in 100 worms, okay, let's say it's in 100 worms. Let's say this chicken eats 100 worms. All the pesticide will be in the chicken. So when you eat that chicken, you are eating all the pesticide. Okay. Yeah, but okay, you see, there is an argument saying that we should use pesticide because you see, when we use pesticide, we have less food wastage, right? Because less food will be spoiled, right? So when you have less food spoilage, when you have more food, you need less land for plantation. So in a way, you are actually helping the environment, right? So guys, okay, it's no clear-cut answer. When it comes to pollution, there's a lot of school of thought. Okay, guys, let me ask you, is leather good? Real leather, as in cow leather, is it good? Is it good in terms of environment? If you say, I want to buy a wallet and I want it to be from a cow hide, I need it to be cow leather, real leather. Is it a good thing? Right? I have students telling me, no, sir, they are killing cows. It's very bad for the environment, right? But you see, either you like it or not, cows will be slaughtered for their meat. So the skin is wasted. Might as well we use it for leather. And guys, you think about this, if you don't want to use, like, vegans, they cannot use leather, right? They will use something called PVC leather. It's like plastic leather. You know what is PVC leather? This is the shittiest leather to use, because after a few years, right, if you use PVC leather as your belt or your wallet, you will realize something. After a few years, this thing will start peeling and you have to throw it away because it's non-usable anymore, right? So you see, if you use this PVC leather, you throw away one wallet every year. Might as well I buy a cow leather and I use it for 5 years, right? So you see, when it comes to pollution, there's no clear-cut answer. Which one is better? Okay, guys, let me ask you, you guys go to public toilet, right? You guys go to public toilet, right? You wash your hands, right? After you wash your hand, there are two options for you to dry your hand. There's the blow dry method, and then there's the tissue paper. Which one is better? Huh? Which one is better? You see? You see the dilemma? Now you're like wondering, which one should I use? Right? Because you see, when you're using the blow dryer, the thing uses electricity. Right? Then you must say, sir, then use tissue. Tissue no need use electricity. What? But you have to see, for me to make my tissue, I have to use machine to cut trees. My factory needs to switch on electricity to make tissue. And after I make the tissue, I need to use a lorry to ship the tissue to the shopping center. I'm using fossil fuel as well. So which is better? Which is better? Guys, I've actually done my research. Blow dryer is much more efficient than tissue paper because blow dryer doesn't produce waste. Or, hear me out, you can just be like me, you just let it dry naturally. Wipe it on your jeans, because that's what I do. Right? Exactly. Wipe it on your jeans or wipe it on your pants. No tissue paper, no heat. Malaysia is hot enough, what? Your water on your hand will evaporate in no time. So what for you need blow dryer leh? Right? So guys, you see the dilemma. So okay, guys, let me put it this way. If you say, sir, should I save the environment by buying a Tesla? No. the best way to save the world, the best way to save Earth is actually to stick to your old car as long as possible, right? If you can drive the same car for 30 years, it will far outweighs the benefit of you buying a Tesla because you don't produce rubbish, right? I mean, provided if you can drive the same car for 30 years, lah, right? But then again, you have another problem. Guys, you have another problem. Nowadays, car manufacturers like Toyota, like Volkswagen, they will make their cars spoil faster, right? If you realize something, cars from 30 years ago, it's all made from metals. But cars nowadays, it's all made from plastic. You open the engine bay is a hot area. Plastic cannot deal with heat, but it's all plastic. Why? So that it can spoil faster, lah. How else would they have business? You get what I mean? You get what I mean? So all this big business, they say they care for the environment, is freaking bullshit one, right? Freaking bullshit. Just like Apple lah, just like Apple lah. Back few years, when Apple say we decided not to include charger and cable, everyone was like, oh my god, so innovative. Oh my god, Apple is such a good company. They care so much for the environment. Oh my god, give me a break, seriously. Okay, let me ask you something. If let's say now your phone is okay, you don't want to use your phone already, you want to pass your phone to your younger brother, or you want to sell it to someone, you attach the cable together, right? You attach the charger together, right? Do you just pass the phone to your brother without the cable or the charger? Do you just sell your phone to someone else without the charger? No. So what do you do now? When you sell your phone, now you have to buy a new phone and you have to buy another charger. And here's the thing. When you buy another charger, now instead of putting it in one box, you have two boxes. You have extra packaging. So extra packaging means extra waste, right? So there's nothing environmentally friendly about this. This is just all just gimmicks for them to say, this is just Apple showing people that, you see, I very environmental friendly. Faster praise me, faster buy my product. Freaking bullshit lah. Okay? If Apple really cares so much for the environment, they will make a phone that is so long lasting, you don't even need to change your phone for 5 years. Like I said, having your phone as long as possible, just like your car, having it as long as possible is much better than you buy a new one. So you see, it all makes no freaking sense. Apple, come on lah. Apple, they don't give a shit about environment. It's just marketing gimmicks. Okay? You know how much rubbish they're producing every year. Come on. Okay, anyway, so okay, to build more machines, we need raw material. Mining for raw metal ores destroy habitat. You see, you wanna build a Tesla, right? You wanna build a Tesla. The battery comes from lithium and many other raw material. So mining for like cobalt, guys, cobalt is a very important ingredient to make battery. So do you know how do Tesla get their cobalt? They get their cobalt from Africa. And Africa, they use child slaves to mine for cobalt. And this thing is actually very poisonous. They will ask children to do it. Do you see how terrible humans are? Guys, that's why I always say, I always say this. The Spanish flu, the Black Death, or maybe even COVID, they are the cure. We are the freaking virus, right? We enjoy killing each other. We enjoy killing the environment. We just enjoy destroying stuff. Okay? So you see, that's why I'm very pessimistic about the future. Okay? All these 2050 net zero carbon what Tesla and all this I don't buy it. I don't buy it. It's just gimmicks for them to earn money because nobody gives a shit. You think Elon Musk gives a shit about the environment? No, he doesn't. You think H&M gives a shit about the environment? Okay, H&M, they always, you guys buy from H&M? You guys buy from H&M? H&M, they always say what? Behind H&M, there's this board, they say, we care for the environment. We use sustainable cotton. Yeah, bullshit lah. You see, H&M, they do something called fast fashion. They make t-shirt quality so bad that every year you have to buy a new one. So what happens to the old shirt? You throw it away lah. Guys, fabric is non-recyclable. Fabric is non-recyclable. So now you end up, we have more clothes in the landfill. How is this good for the environment exactly? How? It's just a bunch of lies, right? Yeah, exactly. So, hey, H&M, they have this campaign that they will collect your old shirts back, right? You know what they did? They collect your shirt and they bring it to Africa. They sell your secondhand shirt to the Africans. And the shirt you gave it to them for free, they will sell it to the Africans. Because this was a very big scandal. I don't know whether they still do it lah. Terrible, you see? All these big companies, they will shit on us normal people. What? Hey, guys, you know Nike? You know Nike? Oh my God. You know how much money it took them to make a pair of shoes? Okay, let me ask you. You guys have Nikes, right? I do. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm guilty of this. I have close to 10, 20 pairs of shoes, and they are all, because I collect sneakers I'm a sneaker collector, right? So Nike, they are known a lot for their human rights exploitation. Okay, I mean, people they don't want that one. People they want branded stuff. Like, okay, you buy Nike shoes will cost you like what, $300 at least. Okay, those discounted one lah. Okay, maybe 600 for the good quality ones. You know how much it takes them to make one pair of shoes? For Nike to make one pair of shoes, it costs them $15. If you times that by four, if you times that by four in US dollar, if you change it to ringgit, it's like $60. Okay, so they're selling you for 600, 10 times the profit, right? Why do you think Nike is such a big company? That's why. That's why. Okay, you might say, sir, how can they afford such a low price to make their shoes? Child labor, sweatshops, right? You know what are sweatshops? That means they hire cheap labor to make their shoes. And if I'm not mistaken, last time there was this very big scandal. Nike make their shoes in Indonesia. And for every worker, they pay them $4 per day. Per day, not per hour. They pay them $4 per day. And they make like what? 100, 200 pairs of shoes per day. So you do the math yourself, lor. How much the company is earning, and how are they shitting on the poor? All companies are like that one. You name it lah, Apple lah, Nike lah, Adidas lah, H&M, whatever big companies you can think of, they shit on us poor people. Bata better. Okay. If you can wear one lah. Okay. Anyway, so the wide use of plastic creates unprecedented amount of rubbish. Most plastics are non-recyclable, as I said, and takes up majority of space in landfills. Burning of plastic also produces toxic. You can't burn plastic, right? I mean, not normal people like us do anyway. But some people they still burn plastic. I have a friend living in Kota Kemuning. I went to his house once, right? His neighbor still burns plastic every evening. As in well-to-do neighborhood, not poor neighborhood, they still enjoy burning rubbish. I don't get it. I don't get it. So apparently it's still a thing. Burning rubbish is is still a thing that people do. Maybe it. Okay. Anyway, so next, water pollution. Oil spills. Like you see, these are oil spills. Oil spills in the middle of the ocean kills many wildlife in the habitat. During manufacturing of batteries and electronics, toxic waste such as cadmium, mercury, you put mercury into ocean, that's how you poison the fish. Nickel can be released into the lakes and rivers, poisoning the habitat and cause destruction of ecosystem. Yeah, okay. Hey guys, let me tell you something. Most fish you eat, now, they contain mercury. It's just a matter of more or less. Okay, and mercury is a neurotoxin. Coins have nickels, yes. Okay, they are neurotoxin. They will make you stupid. So if you want to eat fish because they have omega-3 to make you smarter, they also have mercury to make you stupid. So my advice is don't eat fish. Why people throw fish coin to fish? The one is not polluting one. I'm talking about raw nickel. The coin is like nickel alloy. The one is okay. Okay, so domestic waste from homes. Okay, like we throw out rubbish. Rubbish we throw out every day is domestic waste. Discharge into lakes and rivers pollutes the water. Washing of pesticide and fertilizer from land into water causes a phenomenon known as eutrophication. Okay, guys, you know what is eutrophication? You know, it's eutrophication. Oh, this is a very bad thing to happen. Right, so let's say now this is your farm. Let's say your farm is beside a pond. So now you start putting fertilizer because you want your plant to grow well. So what happens now when it rains? When it rains, the fertilizer will be washed to the pond. So what happens now? What happens now? The fertilizer will cause a thick layer of algae to grow on it. You know it's algae, the green color plant. So that thick algae will cause all the aquatic life to die. And now your pond will look like absolute dog shit. Okay, so whenever you see next time the pond looks green, doesn't mean the pond is healthy. Okay, man, sir, green is good, what? Yeah, on a tree, yes, but on a pond, then no, it's bad, right? Don't you find this disgusting? Okay, in China, because they use so much fertilizer, wow, the eutrophication is freaking serious. If you look at eutrophication in China, you see, guys, this is a pond. Was anyway, was. Why are you swimming here, right? Disgusting. You know what the water smells like? Because it's all dead fish down there, the water will smell like, well, dead fish. Okay, dead plants, dead fish, and dead everything there. So yikes. You see? Wow. Fascinating, isn't it? Somehow we will find a way to pollute the environment. There are millions of ways we can spoil this environment. Okay. Is it? They have algae eaters, okay, sure. Okay, is it? Okay, anyway, so air pollution, burning of fossil fuel, like I said just now, releases sulfur dioxide and nitrogen dioxide. And these two, they are acidic gases. So when they dissolve in rainwater, you guessed it, they would have caused acid rain. Right? Okay, like acid rain is not a very big problem. As long as you put a filter, you can filter away this sulfur dioxide and nitrogen dioxide, your air will be fine. Right? It also releases carbon monoxide. It is a poisonous gas, and carbon dioxide a greenhouse gas. Right? This is our biggest problem. So we have methods to deal with these, but currently we have no method to deal with carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is something that we still don't know how to deal with. Right? So greenhouse gases act like glass in greenhouse, trapping heat in our atmosphere, causing global warming. Okay, guys, greenhouse effect, greenhouse effect will cause global warming. Okay, let me write this here. Greenhouse effect will cause global warming. They are not the same thing. They are not the same thing. That is just a theory, just a theory. Right, guys. You know what is a greenhouse? You know what is a greenhouse? A house full of glass. Hey, do you know inside is very hot? You know inside is very hot. Okay, you know what else is a greenhouse? You know what else is a greenhouse? Your dad parks his car under the sun before, right? If your dad parks his car under the sun from 12 to 2, when you enter the car, what do you feel? Only 2 hours of sun, my goodness, your car will be, yes, smoldering hot, exactly. That is greenhouse effect. Because your car is a greenhouse, it's all glass. When heat enters, heat cannot get out. So that is greenhouse effect. So greenhouse effect is like you have glass around our earth. right? What the first? I don't know. Okay, so this is like the greenhouse. I mean, we don't have a glass, like literally, we don't have a glass around Earth, lah. But the glass stands for carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide, they behave exactly like glass. They will trap heat on Earth, inside Earth. They will trap it here. What's up with giant lilies? So this is how you get global warming, lah. This is how you get global warming. So this is the biggest problem we are facing right now. Because carbon dioxide, like I said, we still have no idea how to deal with it. Right? We know how to produce it, but we know how to get rid of it. Okay, so global warming causes melting of polar caps, rising sea level, extreme climate, typhoons, and hurricane. As ice starts to melt, guys, you know South Pole and North Pole is melting, right? Oh, is it? So as they melt, you have more water. When you have more water, your sea level will rise. When you have higher sea level, you have more water in the atmosphere, you have more rain. Do you know Johor is flooding right now? Johor and Pahang is flooding right. When has it not flood in Malaysia? Right? Every year, it's like a global event. It's like a annual event one. Malaysia sure flood one, right? So if you are living in Selangor, maybe you're lucky. But if I'm not mistaken, last 2 years ago, there was this huge flood in Selangor, right? Especially if you're from Klang. That was it lah. Like the flood, the most serious flood in like 20 or 30 years. Okay, that could happen again this year. Who knows? All right. So this is your global warming. Right. About CFC, right? I'll stop here. Next week, I'll continue with this. Okay. You can actually go home and finish this. Go home and study this. Next week, I'll finish the exercise as well. Right. So by next week, right, you should receive your chapter 4 notes. Okay. We are progressing quite quickly now. It's only March, but we are already in chapter 4. Okay. So if you guys have no question, so I think I will stop here. Okay, we're very speedy. So I will see you guys the same time next Friday lah. Have a good weekend, guys. I will see you soon. Okay, see you. Take care. Good night and bye, guys.